Thanks for checking in. Let's dive right in. So I have a 7-seater 2022 Model Y that I've had just over a year now. And I want to take you through what's my use of this vehicle. What are my pros and cons after owning it for a year and over 44,000 kilometers. So that's, what is that, 27,000 miles, something like that. So let's dive right in. All right, so my vehicle has the premium audio system. It's a 2022 full self-driving computer. A big thing when I got it was people checking to see if we were getting the AMD Ryzen chip, which it has. It's also heated via heat pump, heat and cool, right there. And those are some of the main things that are important for the 2022 year builds. I have currently 44,000 kilometers on, and I'm about a year and 1 month in so far on this build. And so there's my overall screen. I have a multi-coat red vehicle, and let's take a quick look. All right, so the main use of this vehicle is everything. I use it to commute day-to-day to work. We've taken a couple big trips with it, big meaning 5,000 kilometers or more, 3,000 miles. We've done a lot of kind of day trips or a couple day trips with it, going over 1,000 kilometers. And so we've racked up a lot of miles on it. It's a soccer vehicle, getting the kids in the summer and everything in between. So let's see if it's held up all right. Here's a quick look at my back seats, and after having a year of the kids kicking on the back seats, I didn't clean this too much today, but these things wipe up pretty good. Maybe you'll find a few small kind of scratches on the plastics. I know you can get wraps for those, but overall it's holding up well. The carpet too acts as dampening, but also it does get dirty. But you know what vehicle doesn't with little kids? So you can easily clean it off. That side you'll see is a little more dirty there as well, but nothing is broken. No clips or nothing have needed service, so it's holding up pretty good in terms of the interior. And I show you the back because that's what gets the most abuse. The exterior has held up really well so far for a year. I did not put any wraps or special coatings on the front end of the vehicle. I do have a couple small rock chips that I will fix up on it once the weather is going to stay warm for us. No cracks in the windshield or anything. So I would rate this as very similar to any of the other OEMs out there in terms of paint quality, because you know what, I drive a lot on the highway and get a lot of stones getting flung at it. So in terms of Tesla having thinner paint or anything, I wouldn't put much value in that. Now the third row is held up really good as well. Right now I have the second row all the way back, but you can still lean forward and bring these out. But as is, when the third row is all the way back, you're not going to have any leg room. So you would need to slide up the second row if you're going to have people in here. Please watch my other video if you want to see how an adult can fit into that. 5'11" or so is what I am, and I can fit in here. Wouldn't want to for more than an hour, but it's mainly made for kids and shorter adults. I would say up to about 5'7", 5'8" is going to be what you want to limit it to. Now, we're a family of 4, and where that third row comes in really handy is when we're on, let's say, a trip and we have a set of grandparents along, and you can just have people move around and make sure that we can fit at least 6 in here. With the bigger car seat still behind me there, it's going to be quite tight with 7 people, but it will definitely work great for 6 and all your gear with the frunk and the back storage. And as the kids get older and they're not in car seats anymore, flexibility I think will only increase from there, as the seats take up a lot of space, especially the shoulder room for the middle seat in the back there. So makes it kind of unusable. So that's why I consider it more like a 6-seater when you have big car seats there. Okay, so what are the pros and cons after owning this vehicle? Tesla Model S, 7-seater for a year, 44,000 kilometers, 27,000 miles. Right off the bat, the biggest pro is the cost savings. So I'll show you my screenshot of the app, and here you can see that in a year, 44,000 kilometers, I've still spent under $1,000 in energy so far, and 2/3 of that has actually come from 2 main road trips, which were over 5,000 kilometers each. So in terms of road trips on this vehicle, I would say I've put at least 12,000 kilometers on, and that's cost me most of my energy. My home use, which is probably over 30,000 or around 30,000 kilometers, has cost me, $330, as you can see in the app here. So that's incredible. I'm coming from a Ford F-150 where the price of gas in last year alone, if I would compare it to the amount of driving I did, I would have spent between $7,000 and $8,000 in gas with that vehicle. And so to drop that down to 1/8 the cost is incredible. This thing will be paying it for itself sooner than even I thought. So that's with the price with EVs. The more you drive, the more you save, and how you charge makes a difference too. If you're always on the road and charging at superchargers or the DC fast charging, it's probably going to be a lot more close to the price of gas. Another pro is the comfort of the vehicle. It is just, these are great seats. You just get in and can drive for kilometers, for miles on end. We've had no complaints there so far. Another pro is the use of the app. It's so awesome in the morning. So, you're used with your gas car to fire it up, heat the engine in the morning so the cabin can start warming up. Now, before you go out, you can either do this automatically with the app or just hit a button to say precondition and start heating up the interior. And generally it only takes a few minutes, and you're comfortable and on the road, and it's so nice to use. Another pro is the lack of maintenance. So after 44,000 kilometers, what have I done? Nothing. I put my winter tires on when the time came, and I'll take them off when the time comes. I think I've added windshield wiper fluid once. Granted, a new gas car, you're not going to be spending that much in maintenance, hopefully, other than some oil changes and filter changes and whatnot. But there's no maintenance on this vehicle. The last pro I wrote down is just the fun factor of driving. If you're an enthusiastic person about driving, I'll take a stick shift 5-speed any day, but for my everyday vehicle, it's going to be an EV. It's a lot of fun. It's quick, it's quiet, and it's really enjoyable. So over my 44,000 kilometers, I've averaged 172 watt hours per kilometer, which works out to about 276 watt hours per mile. So that's really good. In the olden days, we'd call that our fuel mileage, or miles per gallon, and this is now the efficiency world. So I wish there was standardization across everything, because even in the States, I think they change it. The F-150 Lightning goes miles per kilowatt hour. Anyways, that's where I'm at. You can check out my short on battery degradation calculation. There's a quick little trick you can use, and all it is a trick. It's not reliable 100% of the time, but basically I'm hovering anywhere around 3 to 4% battery degradation after a year and 44,000 kilometers. So not too bad. Now, what are my cons? The things I haven't enjoyed as much over the course of a year in this. And the first one that comes to mind is actually technology. And why would I say that? With an EV, you're driving basically a computer on wheels. Well, for example, you can set your phone to be the key, as you're most aware. And I would say 15% of the time you walk up to the vehicle and you open try to open the door, and it just won't open. It won't unlock because it's not recognizing my phone for some reason. And so that's a pain. A key works 100% of the time unless it breaks off in the door or there's some other weird cause. Your key fob can die, sure, but you press unlock on that thing, it's probably going to unlock. Now, if I get the phone out of my pocket and press unlock on the app, yes, it will unlock. It's just meant to be convenient. Walk up to it and open it. And when that doesn't work more than 1 or 2% of the time, then I would say that the technology is not good enough. Another one is the screen subscription. So Yeah, I get it. If you want the premium, mine came still with a year of premium connectivity. I'll show you right now on it. It'll include traffic on the standard maps. It just won't display it. So, you know, you always have to use your directional, tell the car to go somewhere if you want the traffic to be taken into consideration. But you can't stream anything else without paying, you know, an extra $15 a month or whatever it is for premium connectivity. It's the age we live in today, I guess. So here's another con. These doors, they open fairly wide, which is nice, but the door detents, that's what that little stopper is called, when the door will stop at a set distance. See, there's another one there. My younger children find it really hard to close the door. You know what, and not in any other vehicle I've had. So maybe that's just because it's new, but yeah, I would call that a con for now, just because the doors, they're kind of clunky and flimsy a bit. They don't close with a nice thunk of a luxury car, because that's the kind of prices you're paying with these things. They close a lot harder and clunkier. There's some panel misalignment, as you can see. Now my final con is just the price of the vehicle. Since I bought this in the beginning of 2022, the price had gone up about $20,000 Canadian since then, and when you add in extra taxes and whatnot, it was even more than that, and that's insane. So I think they've dropped it since then to a similar price. It's still not as cheap as what I bought it for, but if you want mass EV adoption, you know, be able to tell your neighbor, yeah, just go buy one of these. When the prices are so high initially, you're not going to get people buying in. Now that'll improve in the future, and I think it's coming down with parity. And one of the biggest factors, as I talked about, is how much you drive. The more you drive, the more you save. But if you're someone who just runs around town and uses it as your second vehicle, you're probably not going to want to buy a Tesla or a premium EV. But if you want it as your trip vehicle and you use it a lot, this one can tow 3,500 pounds, then go for it if you keep your vehicles a long time and drive a lot. And as far as the 7-seater, I would definitely recommend that. The price has also gone up on 7 seats since we've bought it. But if you need that just for a family of 6, as kind of I described the best use scenario, if you have car seats, then maybe 6 people is kind of all you're going to fit in the 7-seater. But for that alone, it's just great to have the extra usability. And as the kids get older and have maybe some friends along in the back as well, you'll be able to get away without having an extra vehicle. Final thoughts. Was this worth it? And in a word, yes. I am happy with my purchase, especially with how much I've saved in gas, the difference between buying it, the convenience of the app, and just the technology overall has been great. We've really enjoyed it as a family, and it's brought us everywhere we need to go, never failed. So keep watching, and thanks for checking in this far. Appreciate it. Have a great day. Bye.